I'll just talk about what I'm going to talk about today, which is educational simulations, but about the past, present, and future, and how the future is kind of set in the title slide here, the time for them to maybe shine and start taking more of a center stage than they have even after all of these years. First, a little bit of background about me, gotten some from Andreas' very nice introduction. My own background and experience is primarily in designing e-learning, often but not always, learned by doing simulations, for corporate clients, for business clients. Some of them are nonprofit organizations, some of them are large companies. So simulations for the purposes of teaching people how to do their job, whatever it may be, sales, or customer service, or something more technical. It's a whole bunch of different jobs, and I will show you 3 different examples before this time is up. I also teach at Columbia University in New York, and what I do there is really teach online learning design, again, sort of applied to the business world. So it's a spin-off of the work that I've done. We're actually starting a degree concentration program that's going to be several courses for people who are interested in learning about how do you take academic theory and research in learning and in online instruction and in cognitive psychology, integrate this all together, think about how to use technology to help people improve job performance and do their job better. Sometimes that means training, something that you get before you do the job. Sometimes it means what's called performance support, meaning something that will help you through your workflow, through the way you're doing your job when you need it. So it's all part of kind of what my work has been for about the past 20 years or so. I don't know how it's been 20 years, but it has. Congrats. This work I'll show you started in 1989, so that's almost 20 years. All right, let me talk a little bit about the current state of educational simulations from what I've seen, partly through my work with Kaleidoscope and at Columbia as a consultant. Generally seen as a high potential method, but not always consistently viable. There are exceptions, there are successes, and I'll show you a few of them, and there are other successes that have nothing to do with our work. But overall, it's been a method that's been talked about for years and years and years, and still isn't something that if you say, hey, are you using simulations to really help you in your business, for example, and help your people improve their job performance and really learn a job, you don't always get a good yes. Okay? Despite this potential, it's been almost 20 years since I've been in this. I was in the early stages of doing this kind of work for companies. But it's still not used in practice as much as you might think. There's a lot of e-learning, particularly in US companies, a lot of e-learning that is very text-heavy and very put things on the screen and have you read it and watch the presentation and turn the page, rather than some of the more interactive methods. And simulation really is one that can be much, much more effective and much more widely used. So why are these not in more use? So here's a method that's based on academic theory, the idea of learning by doing. You learn something in context, it applies well to the job that you're going to do. You learn in a realistic context, and then when you go to the job, you should be ready to do it. So why don't people use these more? A couple different reasons. One is that out of the simulations I see in business, a lot of them are focused on the simulation part, but not the learning part. So they may give you an environment that kind of looks like the job, even if they're teaching something simple, like sales. They may give you that kind of environment, but they don't really focus on the learning theory behind it all that well. So what guidance do we provide you? How do we help you get through the simulation and make good decisions? What kind of feedback do you get if you make the wrong action? How do you abstract away mistakes that you've made and the principles that you're finding? How do you grasp the principles, make the right abstractions, and know how to apply them to other situations? Even simple tasks, like I'll show you a customer service example. And it's not the hardest job in the world, but it isn't that easy. And if you make a mistake in working with a customer, you need to understand, what mistake did I make? How can I know not to make it again? How will I recognize the situation? And all of this is really based on instructional theory. It's not simply going through the motions of doing something. It's actually understanding what it is that you're doing and why and how to do it better next time. And that often gets kind of left off in the zeal to get technology right in the front. Another thing is that successful simulations aren't always so well publicized. I get to review for a few different organizations and see some things, and I've seen some good stuff that somehow doesn't get publicized enough. A lot of times it's for a particular client, and there are agreements with the company to not disclose as much as you want. This happens way too often in the U.S. where they have something good, they see it as a competitive advantage, they want to keep it. So sometimes you'll see things that you sign a non-disclosure agreement just to get to see and say, oh, I really like that, I wish people would use this method. But it's not publicized as well. We've also seen the other way. We've seen some really good demonstrations where someone shows a demonstration in the early stages of a project, and it looks like it's going to be really interesting, but it's kind of been overpromised. It's not something that's going to feel realistic in all situations. It may have a couple of segments, a couple of paths that look right, but it's a complex thing to build, feel right to the learner all the way through. So I've seen both through the years. Both ways. I've seen things that are overpromising, and I've seen things that are under-delivering. And some that are both. Third reason is simulation-based methods aren't always the easiest for others to use. So often they take some programming. It's more and more true that you can do things more easily. But the kind of simulations I'm going to talk about, and I'll show you some examples, meaning it's learning by doing. You're put in a realistic environment. It's not always that easy to build technically. There's some solutions for that as well. But since these have a reputation of being time-consuming, expensive, sometimes complicated to build, we'll see companies often shying away from them, and professors as well, in my lesser experience, don't really feel like there's the time and effort to, and the budget sometimes, to go ahead and build a simulation of the kind we're talking about. Okay, so it makes them a little bit shy about experimenting. Right, so I'm going to show you a few examples. I'm going to show you 3 different examples, and we'll get to see some things that have worked in the past. These are drawn from many years in the past, going back to the mid-1990s anyway. First one is guest service training for retail staff. So it's for a retail company in the U.S. to teach people how to provide good customer service, or guest service, as they call it. The second one is called Directory Assistance Operator Training, and that teaches people how to use kind of a specialized software system. We'll get to that one. And the third is a different audience, which is teachers, and it's called anti-bias training, and it's for high school teachers, which in the U.S. is teaching people who are 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, and try to teach them how to run a classroom that is free of bias, meaning everyone is treated fairly and equally. So we'll get into more details as I get to each one of those. First, let me talk about guest service training. This is for a major retailer in the United States. Only in the U.S., actually, this company. They have about 1,200 stores, or they did at the time we built this, and now they're a little bit bigger even. And the goals were to teach their employees who work at the return desk. Okay, so this is, if you buy something at this store and you want to bring it back, there's a special desk, a customer service desk, that they call the return desk. This is to teach the people who work there how to deal with difficult customers in difficult situations. So, what happens? Somebody comes in there angry because they were returning it because they don't like it, or because it broke, or because they think it broke, but you know that they really just kind of abused it. So maybe it's their fault, maybe it's your fault. Lots of difficult situations. Customer service is really a big issue for companies too, especially retail companies. A lot of times it's where you get your impression of the company. So you go, and if you have a bad experience, you think, God, this is a terrible store, I'm never coming back here. On the other hand, they have very inexperienced people doing this job. They don't have huge budgets for it. They're often getting younger, less experienced people, trying to train them fairly quickly to provide good customer service. So, bad consequences if you don't do the job well. A lot of money at stake for the company, and it's a much more, as I found, interesting and complex job than we might have thought. And that's what we did here. So in this method, it's a learn by doing simulation where learners practice handling customers in a safe simulated environment, meaning you're on the computer, you've got customers who come up in video, and you have to know what to say to them. The idea being that this, as being a major part of the training that they have, will prepare people so that when they have real customers, they can do a good job. Because if you are not nice to a real customer, that's a big problem. So this is one that is a training problem. You have to be good at this job before you can be out doing it in front of real customers. All right? So I'm going to get to a demonstration. Always the trickiest moment is I do want to shift my monitor settings for a second. It's actually a slightly older is guest service training for a company, as you can see, called Target in the United States. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to log in.
Hi, I'm Harry.
I'm going to go ahead and skip him for a second. If I were doing this for the first time, I would get a little bit of an introduction to what I'm going to see and what the environment is all about and what I'm asked to do. I kind of want to get you to the more interesting part. So in real life, there are 8 different scenarios, so 8 different customers that I have to deal with in my training. And I would have to do them all in a prescribed sequence, but I'm going to jump ahead for the purposes of showing you interesting things, and jump ahead and pick a scenario where a guy's having problems with his shoes. Okay? So, it might be better if the lights are a little bit. Can you see everybody see okay? Better if the lights are a little better? I can see, but I've seen it before. What we have here is I'm sitting at the customer service desk in theory, okay? So I'm here, and I have this somewhat angry-looking man, doesn't look all that happy anyway, with a pair of shoes in front of him, and some other customers, and some people waiting. And I have to decide what to do. And on the right-hand side of the screen, I have some things that can help me. Okay? I can ask some questions, how, what, how, and why. And there's a tutoring component, a teaching component that will help me through this. So if I'm not sure what to do, I can ask questions. I can also, the other thing I'm really going to do is talk to the customer using these buttons, read, close, ask, and tell. So I can pick things from under these buttons, and I'm going to go ahead and say, I can help whoever's next. I've got these 3 people in front of me. One of them's got to be next. I want to help the next person online. So I'm going to go ahead and say that.
Excuse me, aren't you using numbers?
All right. So he says, excuse me, aren't you using the numbers? So he doesn't seem to be happy. So there's a number system that I'm supposed to be using. Now we get some advice. Sometimes somebody who's an experienced person working in Target, as this woman in the red is, will come up and give me some advice. So first I get some text advice over here, and some text feedback really. So I got feedback from seeing the customer, and now I see, well, guests become annoyed if they lose their place in line. They have a number, they've chosen a number. If we use the number system, it's going to help avoid confusion and conflict. Okay, if I want to hear a little bit more about this, I can click play and listen to my Target expert to tell me even more about it.
Another thing we do here from our guests is because they feel that they will be treated, in an orderly and fair fashion. But it really frustrates them if we don't use the system consistently. So
she's going to go on a little bit more just to kind of drive home the point. Sometimes these are also stories about experiences where someone did what I just did wrong and something interesting happened. So this one, more on the level of advice. So I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to retract that. I'm not going to say I can help whoever's next. So let me say, how about number 65? It's now serving 65. Well, it turns out that's not right either. So we didn't bother with the whole angry customer here, but 65 is who's being served now. So I should be on 66. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can get this guy to help me. So number 66, please. I'm almost afraid of what's going to happen with number 66, but he's there, and I need to deal with him. All right. So he's kind of going to stare at me. Welcome to Target. How can I help you? So I've got this guy in front of me. Let's see how I can help.
Help me by taking these back, because this is ridiculous. I bought these shoes like 4 months ago, and never falling apart. I've been ripped off. These things are total junk. I mean, look here. The soles are falling apart. The laces are all ripped. I mean, I know you guys sell total junk here. This is crazy. I want my money back.
Okay, he's not happy with the shoes. I think that much we can determine. So, I can decide what to say here. Well, let's see. Are you sure they're just not worn out? Apparently, in the sure way. There we go. Okay. All right. So this time he didn't yell, but we hear don't argue with the guest. So I said, are they sure? They look kind of worn out. I thought they looked worn out. But the guest said he thinks they're unacceptable. So the company's policy on this is don't argue with him. So he thinks if you say are they just worn out, he thinks that you're accusing him of lying. And instead what I should do is apologize for the shoes and ask politely to see them. Okay? is hard for me to do. This guy doesn't seem very nice. If I ask now, I'll get some similar advice here too. So I should let him know I understand his problem and he has to see the merchandise. All right, so I'll say, I'm sorry to fall apart on you. May I see the shoes, please? All right. I can see the shoes.
Yeah, fine. I don't want them anymore.
So he shows me the shoes, and I get to take a look at them. And I can kind of, looks like the soles really are falling apart. All right. Well, not sure he hasn't done anything to them, but I already learned my lesson that I'm not supposed to criticize the customer, the guest. That's not the way it works. So, let's see. I'm going to say, right, it shouldn't have happened, and see if he has his receipt. I'll ask him if he's got his receipt.
Yeah, I got my receipt. I keep them all together in a box. Can't really have this kind of problem. I just grab it and go. Here it is. Right here.
Okay, got his receipt. And it turns out that if I look at the receipt, it's over our policy. I'm not going to bother you by taking the time to look up the policy, but we are actually over the return date. So, it's kind of a problem because he's over the return date. So, let's see. Well, I could probably try to give him an exchange. So, let's see if he wants another pair of these shoes. All right. Well, tutoring jumps in and says that's not a good idea. Okay. We should thank him for the receipt. I don't want to thank him for the receipt. Let's see. I can only give you an exact exchange. That doesn't seem fair. He's had these for over 90 days.
I want to talk to your manager.
All right. That wasn't a good idea. So it turns out that I need to understand what return options I should be giving the guest. Even though he doesn't seem all that nice. And even though he's over the 90-day policy, there are certain things I'm supposed to be doing here. So the guest has several options. He said at the beginning he wants his money back. He might get angry if I tell him that I can only give him an exchange. So I have to explain the policy. So what I need to do, tell him what I need to do, is thank him for the receipt, explain that I can give him his cash, but they still want me to do a little bit of selling and try to convince him to take a voucher, which means he can get another item in the store. So it's better for the store if I get him to use the voucher, but I got to do it very delicately. It's kind of what I'm learning. Okay. All right. So I'm going to say, well, thank you, sir. And I'm going to say, I can give you your money back, unless you'd like a voucher, which is good for any item in the store. So I'm going to offer him this voucher in a delicate way. He may not be so happy with this, but this is the policy that's supposed to. So let's see if he wants the voucher back.
I already got it over here. Look, I already told you if you've been listening. I want my money back. Money back. You understand English, right? Let's get this done. I don't want to be here all day.
Okay, well, not a great, happy response, but it was the right thing to do in the situation. So I'm going to go ahead, and I think I should just try to bring up his refund here. So I'm going to flip over to the point of sale terminal. That's what POS is in retail language, is the point of sale terminal. And I'm going to enter the receipt date and bring the item up and get his receipt already. Well, turns out that's not the right thing. First, I've got to tell him what I'm going to do. So, all right. So before I just start bringing it up, I got to talk to him. So this is the hard part of this job. There's a lot of talking, a lot of being nice to people who aren't always being nice to you. So, okay, I'm going to say, let me go ahead and start bringing up the cash refund. Well, almost. Okay. So this tells me that's one thing I should say, but it's not the only thing I should say. I should also be apologizing and telling it's not going to be much longer that they make this happen. All right. So I'm going to say, let me bring up the cash refund. I'm sorry, this shouldn't take too much longer. How would be a customer service representative?
Let's just get it over with. I want to get out of here sometime today.
All right. Well, I think I'd also like him to get out of here sometime today, so maybe I should just try to do this as quickly as possible. So now I'm going to enter the receipt date, but it's still not right, because this was over the 90-day limit, which is something I mentioned earlier, even though I did not force you to see the entire policy guide. But it's over the 90-day limit, so there's something I need to know conceptually about the way the cash register works, which is it's not going to allow us unless I hit something called an override, which is a special key. So I need to do an override. And we're just showing how this works. We're not getting into the details right, I click override. Refund amount is $20.99. Oh, all that for $20.99. Okay, now I think I'm almost done. What if I ask now I should finish the guest return? Well, how should I do that? It gives me some advice. Okay, tell him what his refund is, apologize for the shoes, see what else I can do. Well, I'm not sure why I need to do all that. It explains. Okay? So I need to tell the guest what his total refund is so that he's not confused. I need to apologize for the shoes so that he knows that I really do care. I'm supposed to really care about his inconvenience. And finally, I've got to ask him if he needs anything else so I can make sure he's a satisfied guest. All right? So there's a lot of reasoning behind this. And the whole point here is to try to make sure that I understand what to do and why I need to do it. Okay? All right. So I should say, all right, the refund is $20.99. I'm going to say I'm sorry again about the shoes. And is there anything else I can help you with today? Hopefully he'll say no and I'll be done with that.
No. That's it, I guess.
All right. Finally, he's relatively calm. He seems a little bit happier than he was before. But he's still there. So why is he still there? So I should politely close the return. And all I do is say, all right, say okay, and I just want to have a nice day. All right? That seems like a pleasant thing to say after this difficult thing. Have a nice day.
Too late now.
Oh, he says too late now. Okay, apparently that wasn't a good idea. So, lesson here is it's good to be polite, but he knows this has been confrontational. So he's going to think that it may be perceived as something that's being facetious or, not really being sarcastic and not being serious. So that might not be taken the right way. And in his case, it wasn't. So I should know that when I've had a difficult guest, as they call it, difficult customer, probably should just be a little bit simpler. So I should just politely and cleanly say goodbye. So if I just say, okay, and goodbye, let's see if that works a little bit better.
Yeah, right.
All right. He comes back and yells at me anyway, gets his last word in before he leaves, but he does leave again. Get a little bit of summary from me. We get a summary from the little tutor who comes up at the end here. And then I get a little bit of a summary of the scenario, what happened over the entire course of the scenario, what skills did I practice, and how did I do. So you can see a little bit here of the things that went on during that scenario. Shift back from this one on to the next. Okay, so I'll just follow up with this, with just telling you the summary of what the learning experience was for this training. This was a significant part of the training for a new employee. It can also be used as refresher training. So sometimes if someone's not doing so well, they can go back and go through these scenarios. Total it's 8 scenarios, so we just saw one. So each scenario is a customer. It's about 2 hours of training on average, depending on how you do it. We went through a fairly, reasonably efficient path for demonstration purposes, but it could take a little bit longer if you explore more, make more mistakes, as many people do. And as I said, this is part of their initial training course, but also something you can use as refresher training, meaning if you've got some problems you're not doing as well as they'd like, they can send you back through these scenarios. Of course, it would always be nice to have more. There are always budget constraints on this kind of thing, but there are 8 different customers that you get to deal with, and they're different in the kinds of problems that they face. In terms of results, one of the difficult things I've always found, frustrating things of working in e-learning businesses, it's very hard to get clients to do formal studies or to even let us do formal studies of effectiveness. The next demo I'll show you did have a nice study, and I can talk to you about that. This one was mostly anecdotal, that the course was rolled out and people enjoyed it, felt the scenarios were very memorable, and realistic. They're a little bit, not everybody's like the guy with the shoes, right? He's a really difficult customer. So there's a little bit of exaggeration for effect, but not too much. One of the other interesting side effects was that people found these characters interesting and memorable, and they would actually talk about them with each other. So it turned out that employees would raise these characters, these situations to each other in conversation. Oh, did you see that? That customer kind of reminded me of the guy in the Jews. Oh, did you do that part of the training with the guy? And that really helped. They actually cared more about this, I think, than anyone else. We weren't able to do a performance study, unfortunately, on this one. Okay, on to the next. Next one's called Directory Assistance Training. Okay, and this is for the ones a little bit older. It's from the mid-1990s, and the audience was directory assistance operators for a company called Ameritech, which was at the time the phone company throughout parts of the Midwestern United States. And what we need to do here was train the directory assistance operators. Those are the people who we don't really have them too often today. Time has changed so quickly. But you call a number, which is in the U.S. was 411, and you want the phone number of information. So you call and say, I need the phone number for Dennis Thompson in Deerfield, Illinois, and they would look up his number and give it to you. And this is a group that they would hire inexperienced people. They were mostly out of high school, so usually, they didn't have often a college education. Sometimes they were very young, really just out of high school, 19, 20 years old. Sometimes they were older, coming back to the second job, sometimes somewhere in the middle. But this is all new to them. And they had very specific goals for this job. They wanted to keep the calls as short as possible. So whereas in the retail money, you wanted to provide good service, that was the primary goal, was keep the customers happy. Here, there's a lot of money to be saved in simply getting this done efficiently. So while you want to be nice to the customers, you really also want to be quick about it, and they want their phone listings quickly. So if you call in and ask for a phone number, they want the listings to be done quickly. And the second was to be accurate, so provide them the right phone number. So get them the right information and do it fast. It's pretty much what this job is all about. Okay. Again, we did a learn by doing simulation method here. So we used learn by doing simulation where you play the role of directory assistance operator, and you practice taking simulated calls. Okay? Another one where this was a big part of their training, so that by the time they're taking real directory assistance calls, they're already good at it. Turns out this is the kind of job that it's really slow when you're just learning it, but then you get really good at it pretty quickly if the training is right. And so this is one where we're able to tell you that this worked out pretty well. So, the directory assistance training system. So if I'm in my training as a directory assistance operator, here's what I would see. And it tells me what this is all about. So I'm going to learn how to answer customer information requests efficiently. Okay? Efficiently is my main goal here. Using a computer system called the TOPS MBX. And that's only relevant because in real life they're sitting in front of a keyboard that says TOPS MBX in big letters, and no one ever knew what it meant. So it's the name of the computer system, doesn't mean anything else. What am I going to do? In this training system, I'm going to take simulated calls, calls from simulated customers. They're going to come in audio. And I'm going to answer their questions. Okay? I'm going to answer their requests. And again, my goal is to be fast and accurate. Okay? As quickly as possible, and be accurate. Get them the right phone number. Okay? Some words of advice on this one, words of caution. Don't worry if you start off a little bit slowly. It's kind of not as easy as it looks. It really isn't. Right? And then we're ready to start. Okay. This screen looks a little bit different. On the upper right-hand corner of the screen, so all the way up there, where the blue, green, and white is, that's exactly what their monitor looks like in real life. Okay? So they were sitting on a specialized training computer with a larger monitor. In real life, their monitor was that part in the upper right-hand corner. So if you're a real directory assistance operator, you have a screen that looks like that top right-hand part, and you have a very specialized keyboard that has all sorts of extra keys and funny keys on it. So that's one of the, that's what they would sit next to in real life. What we did here for the learning environment is there's some more stuff that you do. On the left-hand side, again, you see some familiar tutoring buttons. We also use the now and how and why method. Okay, so you can talk to the tutor, ask questions. And there's some other general things you can do. You can talk to the customer, you do it a little different way here. And at the bottom of the screen, some more general questions to get your performance, how am I doing in the training, and some more general questions that I think. But I'm new at this and I'm not sure what to do, so I'm just going to say now what. I'm going to ask now what of the tutor. And the tutor says, here's what I need to do. Okay? I'm obviously new with this. It's just going to tell me flat out what I need to do. Okay? There's the OPR key. Okay? It's a key on my keyboard. Type in my operator ID, press the start key. Okay? All fairly straightforward stuff. So if I went ahead and did that, I'm going to kind of jump ahead. If I went ahead and did that, it would log me in, and then I actually start getting phone calls. So I'm logged in, and I start getting phone calls. Okay. So the first one comes in, and I don't have the audio for this one with me, but it's a caller who wants the number for the Treasure Island grocery store in Wilmette, Illinois. Okay. So this was done in the Chicago area. So it's Treasure Island grocery store in Wilmette. Okay. And so if I say, well, what do I do now? So I'm going to ask now what. So they've asked for the Treasure Island grocery store in Wilmette. I'm still new with this. I know I need to do something. I have no idea what I ought to do at this point. Okay? There's some procedure I'm going to learn. I'm going to let the tutor kind of walk me through it the first time. So it says, well, I should go to the location field. Okay? Alright. Why do I do that? What's the location field for? Well, that's where I enter the city information. Okay, so the first thing it's going to walk me through is entering the city information. Right now it says, under local, it says Chicago. And this person said Wilmette, which is a different town. So we're going to have to do something here. Alright. How do I get to the location field? I've got this keyboard in front of me. I don't even know, how I can do that. It's using keys in this days. They didn't have a mouse that was going to help them through. So I have a special way to move to the location field. And a special process I have to follow. So to go there, I have to use the loop key, and that's the key that you see flashing. So that's a big funny keyboard, which you can kind of see what it would look like. I wasn't able to bring one through me. I probably couldn't have gotten it through customs. But their keyboard looks like this. It really looks like this. It's this gigantic keyboard with all these funny specially labeled keys. And if you don't know what you're looking for, it's really hard to find anything. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and press the loop key. And you see on my screen that the location field clears out. So at least it's not Chicago. So now I must enter Wilmette somehow, right? So it's Wilmette, Illinois. So I'm going to type W, and I'm going to ask the tutor, now what do I do? Is W enough for Wilmette? How do I do this? Do I just type the whole name? I really don't know. Okay, so it tells me that W is not the abbreviation yet, so I need to type an efficient abbreviation for the town of Wilmette. Okay, and then press the local step key. This is all new. Alright, so my next question is, how do I do that? It's all well and good, but how do I do this? And there's actually a rule for it. And it turns out that a lot of this job is about learning these rules, which are called keying strategies. So there's a special rule in every situation, basically, that you can name. There's a rule for it. And what I need to do to be a good operator is learn what these rules are. So there's a rule for locations. Type the first letter of the location name, and then two constants in the order in which they appear. So for Springfield would be STR. Alright. So Wilmette, WLM seems to be good. So I'm going to type WLM and then the low key. And it says, well, no, you don't press the low key now. And these keys are all confusing. Wasn't I supposed to press the low key? Why not? It's like, well, I'm already in the location field. And what I should be doing, if I say now what, is the low step key. So I got these keys confused. Okay? In order to do this job well, I've got to get this down. So this is the kind of stuff you have to learn in this job. So I press the low step key. And now it says Wilmette. So look at that. It seems as exciting as the guy with shoes. But if you're trying to be a director assistance operator, this is what you need to know. So now it's caught up to Wilmette. Alright, so now it's the Treasure Island grocery store. Now what do I need to do? And apparently what I need to do is enter an abbreviation for Treasure Island. And then there's a key, which is BUS, which is short, as I learned later, for business. So since it's business, I press the special key. Alright, again, Christian abbreviation for Treasure Island. How do I do that? What would the rule be? So if I ask the tutor, how do I do that? I get the rule. And most of this job, as I said, ends up being learning the rules. But I'm not learning them by simply memorizing them. What I'm doing is learning them in the context in which I'm going to use them. I have a real situation. I'm learning this rule just in time when I need it. Okay, first three letters, one word, dot. First letter, another word, and then another dot. I get another example. Okay, there's a store in Chicago called Handy Andy, which they sell construction supplies around the house. So you get to see how that would work. So for Treasure Island, I think I can figure this out. And I'm going to go ahead and type it in. So I typed in tre.isl. That's right. Now what do I do? Oh yeah, now it's the BUS key. All these funny keys. Alright, so at the end what I see now on the right hand side finally is actually that's the phone listing. Okay, say, Treasure Island Foods, Wilmette, Illinois, there's a phone number. What do I do with it? Do I tell the customer the number? I'm not sure what to do here. And actually, it would then walk me through it, and there's a special key I play as the reporting for the customer. All right, so I've made it through. That's one scenario. There are 50 of these in this course. It's a lot to do, but you kind of get the hang of it really quickly. Even by the second one, you just get much, much better, and things don't quite seem as strange and mysterious. At any point in time, I can also see how I'm doing, get a performance summary. It's almost at any point in time. It actually makes you, there's a special method you use just to, in real life what happens is when one call ends, the next one comes in. That's how they're so efficient about it. And so there's a special key I have to press so I don't get more calls. But then I can look and see how I'm doing, and, you know, after 2 calls, could be there's an 80%, I'm really, really slow, but I'm still learning. There's also some more general, what's called the tour of the operator screen, which is, in addition to the in-context feedback, this is more general guidance, really, just to help me through. There are a lot of different symbols on the screen that are hard to find. I'll learn all of them in context in these 50 scenarios. I learn every single one of these. In fact, I learned them more than once. So in those 50 scenarios, if it's something you see many times in real life, you'll see it many times. But just in case you want a little bit of a reference guide, here's one. Some of the special things that you will see. Different symbols, different letters, and what they mean. Same is true for the blue area. There's a whole bunch of different things here. There's a phone book field that I don't let you know too much about. There's a location field that I've seen in practice. Type is residential or business. So, you know, kind of nice to look at this and just have it remind me what this is about. But most of the learning really takes place in context through doing the scenarios. Some people in practice didn't even really ever look at this tour of the operator screen. So this is kind of a contrast even today to the way a lot of training works, particularly in big companies, where they'll do it the opposite way. They'll start off by telling you, here are all the things on the screen. Here are all of these 25 different symbols you're going to have to know. And then people memorize them and pass some tests about them, and then they go take a call and say, I have no idea what NP means. I don't remember. Because they didn't learn it in context. They didn't learn it in a way that's going to transfer to the job. Wasn't based on cognitive theory and situated learning and all the things that you learn on the academic side. So there's a really big difference between using this as a reference that is, you know, a nice addition and focusing the whole training in this way. And a big difference in effectiveness, which I'll be able to tell you about. As a final thing, just for those who are curious, I didn't do any talking to the customer in this. And in this job, there's not a lot of talking. And what we're teaching here is the looking up the listing part more than the talking. But there are things you want to be able to say to the customer that are in the context of the scenario. So asking for spelling a name, asking for what city if they don't tell you, asking them to repeat something. There are things that you might do. So there's a very small list of things that you're supposed to say here. And all we do is reinforce the right way to say it. We're not teaching you polite skills here. They can learn a little bit of that in their training, but that wasn't the goal of this particular project. Okay, so how did this one work? Well, overall, as I mentioned, there were 50 different scenarios. So what you just saw was a scenario. Again, a scenario was one customer. There were 50. It's about an hour and a half or 2 hours of training. Again, it depends on how fast you are. You're going for 20 seconds per call, but usually in the early stages, it's going to take you a few minutes. Depends on how many mistakes you make, how much you explore the tutoring, how quick you are in general. This had a major effect on the time that was spent in the classroom. So there's one big savings from the time that was spent. Before this was rolled out, it was a 5-day classroom course where people would sit with an instructor the entire time in a small group and be taught in a traditional classroom method. What they moved this to was a 1.5-day classroom course. There's still things that they need to learn about orienting them to their job in the office and how do I sit at my desk and how does this work and who do I report to and all these things. But this really took a lot off of it. So the entire training went from 5 days down to 2, essentially. This was less than a half day. So there's a substantial savings there. And some good results in terms of usability and in terms of actual job performance. This is one of the reasons I like to show this still after all these years is we had a client who was able to do some pretty good studies. And they had human factors professionals who knew what they were doing and did a really nice real study of how this was used, and it's very, very useful information. The pilot version of the program was tested, went through the usability testing lab with the client, and got very, very high scores. So, which is interesting because the reaction from some of the people in the company who were more traditional trainers, and you still get this today, was seeing something like this, oh, isn't that complicated? Are they going to know what to do? There's so many more things. It's not just you see some text and you click next, and how do you get around this? And it turns out that it's complicated, but the design sort of focused people on the right thing. So it was clear what you needed to be doing. People didn't have any trouble, basically. They understood what it was for, and they used the main features. They would ask the tutor, and they would take steps, and it was not confusing. The anecdotal feedback from learners, okay, so what the learners tell us, again, was easy to use. So the formal test said good things, and the actual learners said good things. Then the client did a performance study. Okay? So what they did is they evaluated two groups. So it's close to a controlled experiment as you're ever going to get in a big U.S. company. One group did the old training with the classroom, where they didn't really get to practice quite the same way. And the second group took the new course. And what we found was, in terms of accuracy, they were about the same. So both groups did equally well. They got the listings by and large accurate. They weren't going to make too many mistakes. But in terms of speed, the people who already had this practice and got used to doing this with even some performance measures, knowing how fast they were on average 1.5 seconds faster. Depends on context. Does that mean a lot or a little? But here, what they want you to do is 20 seconds per call. So that's a significant savings. And it turns out that financially, it was a significant savings. So when you add up how much did this save by processing more calls faster, they had fewer employees doing it, and all that kind of stuff, they ended up saving about $5 million a year from this. So it's a considered significant improvement. It really was done by learned by doing simulation model and following actual learning theory. Put you in a real-life context, let you practice the real job, and have the right tutoring and guidance components and feedback so that the learners really could understand what they were doing. One more demonstration. And some more things to talk about. Next long session. The next one is anti-bias training. This one goes back to video, so if there's you missed that there was no video in the last one, we'll have video here. The audience is high school teachers and also some junior high school teachers, so some of the children are as young as 12 years old across the United States. The goal here is to teach teachers how to run a bias-free classroom. Okay? Meaning, treat everybody fairly, equally, regardless of race, regardless of sexual preference, regardless of anything else. It's the kind of thing where the teachers needed to understand how to handle different situations and how to become aware of their own biases. This is actually a very large course overall. A lot of it is done by more traditional, in some ways, online methods. Not quite reading and taking tests, and not that traditional, but some other methods where there's a little bit more watching than doing. It's simply a huge, huge course. You have to get everything in. But what we kind of consider the heart of this is done using a learn-by-doing simulation method, what we call character-based simulation. It's a little bit different than a straight learn-by-doing simulation, where the teachers, who are the students here, the teachers are learning how to be anti-bias experts and how to provide a bias-free classroom. They determine how a character in the simulation handles the situation. So instead of our role being, I'm the customer service person, here's a little bit different, and I'll explain why after I show it to you. My goal is to provide advice to the teacher about how to handle different situations. Just to give you a little bit more background, our client for this runs a very, very well-regarded classroom-based anti-bias program. So they go out to a school, spend an entire day with an instructor and the teachers, have a lot of different conversations where they learn about themselves and how to confront their own biases and figure out that maybe they were biased in ways that they didn't know. Not kind of learn about themselves and learn how to handle different situations. It's a very emotional kind of course. People have said really, really good things about it. They've been doing it for years. It's usually held in the schools with the faculty of the schools. Sometimes they'll have it in a city where they draw people from different schools. Okay? But the problem with this is they just don't reach that wide an audience. So in order to take this class, basically your school has to say, if you're a teacher, your school has to either pay for this course or let you out of school to go take it with other people. And then some people did it, it's very well regarded. And the client, who I actually can't quite mention, is well known for this kind of thing in the United States. But not everybody could get it and access to it. Okay? So our goal was to try to, in some ways, replicate this real-life, realistic emotional experience in an online way. And in some ways, to try to do some things online that you can't do in real life, which you'll get to see a little bit. So we want to have a very experiential, emotion-driven course for teachers, but in a one-on-one, independent online environment. So they log in, can take this when they have time, can come back to it when they can come back to it. It's not something that they need to take the day out of school to do. You can reach a much wider audience this way. Now, it's made it tougher in some ways to think about how to design this than something like customer service or the more boring directory assistance. Directory assistance especially, once we had the idea to do this as a simulation and do the whole learn by doing thing, it was a lot of effort to get it to feel exactly right, but we kind of were able to make it work. This is a more complex world. You're dealing with human behavior, you're dealing with realistic behavior, a lot more places we can lose reality. So it's really important that this needs to feel realistic to the learner. If the simulation behaves in a way that doesn't feel realistic, you really lose credibility. People will not feel so good about it. Really easy to have an unsuccessful simulation if it doesn't feel realistic. It also needs to be emotional. It needs to be realistic and involve people emotionally. It's got to be something that you want to make them care about the characters, make the characters feel good and feel real. However, it's not just a simulated story. Okay? We need some learning features. We need guidance. We need feedback. We need people to understand how to make good decisions, what the consequences are if they don't, how you can know if you're making, if you're having an impact or not. Most of these teachers have seen situations like this in their classroom, but they haven't necessarily known if they did a good job of it or not. Sometimes you know because you see, some results in your classroom. You see people getting along better. You might know. But even then, it's sort of hard to know, is that because of what I did or is that not because of what I did? And it often can take years of experience before you start to figure out on your own what went well and what didn't. So we want to try to really speed up the learning process in this way. So that's what we're trying to do with the simulation. Let me get you over to simulation. So this is one part of this course, which is called Developing Cultural Competency. So a little bit of a cumbersome name. And what this tells me here is, as a teacher, I might encounter bias and discrimination in lots of different forms. And I need to be able to handle it. So it might be with parents, it might be with students, it might be with other teachers. Whatever it is, I need to handle it. And I've also got something which I'm going to get to in a little bit called the Zero Indifference Guide, which is our client's method for handling it. So there's a sort of policy guide for how to handle it, which is useful, but it's not nearly sufficient. And it's nice to have this guide, nice to have some rules to follow. What you really need to do is have experience. I'm trying to get you some kind of practice in dealing with realistic situations through this. So I'm going to choose one of the scenarios below. I'm going to pick one. I'm going to do them in order. I will just show you one. It's called Hallway Bullies. And just so that you know, when I get this, I'm going to see a video. We're going to see a video of the situation. I always have to give a content warning here. This scenario is about children teasing another child because he's gay. It actually turns out it doesn't matter whether he is or he isn't. When I do this in the U.S., less liberal, I think, than you are over here. I always have to tell people that there's, this is what it's about. Sort of uncomfortable content for some people in the business world. But it's exactly the kind of situation that you face in reality, which is why there's a scenario built around it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pick the hallway bully scenario, and then we should see the video. I'm just going to replay this from the start. Here we go from the beginning. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, it's our old friend.
a crazy day, Paul. Very, very day. Say, Paul, why are you alone? Where's your boyfriend, Robert? Wait, is it your girlfriend, Roberta?
Mama's boy,
Mama's girl, Megan.
Okay, so our job is to help Mrs. Smith, Mrs. Smith's teacher. So poor Mrs. Smith sees this happening in the hallway. So obviously it's not a good thing happening in the hallway. She's got to figure out what to do about it. So what I can do below is I can recommend a course of action. I've got a few different courses of action to recommend. Tell the boys to stop it, tell them to get to class, or talk with Paul. I can also get some help. So the help here is on the right-hand side. It looks a little bit different than in the other models that we saw. And on the right-hand side, we have something called character insights. So I can click on a character's photo and see what's going on in their head. What is this person thinking? This is kind of an interesting thing where, you can't really quite get this in real life. You can ask the students in particular, why are you making this? And they're not really going to tell you if they even know. They're not going to be able to give you an honest answer. They're probably not going to, you're not going to get a good answer. It can't hurt to have it, but it's kind of an interesting way to get different perspectives. It's also useful with you as a teacher to get the perspective of this teacher who we're advising and understand how she feels and how you might feel in that situation. There's also some expert assistance. These are questions that will change throughout the course of the scenario as the story unfolds. They sort of play the role of the now and how and why all rolled into one. It's relevant questions that I might ask at any point in time. So in this case, not much has happened. It's sort of fairly general, what can I do? There's also stories from other people. So these are video-based stories of other teachers about similar situations that they've encountered in their own classroom. And it's interesting to talk with, to kind of get those perspectives. I also have the zero and difference guides I mentioned earlier. Okay? So this is the official principles, the official rules. What should I do about bullying? And it certainly is useful. Okay? It means the philosophy is zero difference, meaning don't allow any bullying, any name calling. That's really what this particular category of anti-bias training is about. So kids are being mean to each other, basically, calling them names, and they're almost pushing them around, at least mentally. So it tells me that zero difference means everybody should say we're simply not going to tolerate it. Okay? Now, there's no one right way to go about handling this, but we can give you some guidelines. And again, if there was a right way to handle this that was so easy, we could give you, 3 words you know. It's not that easy. You need practice. But there's some things I shouldn't do. We shouldn't ignore an incident. We shouldn't excuse it. It's not okay. It's not ever, Paul or your mom had a tough time at home. So no, the rule here is it's not okay to treat the other kids this way. And I should always do something. I shouldn't be afraid. I shouldn't be uncertain. If I'm a teacher, I should take action. So there's some intervention steps here, stopping the behavior, educating those involved. All right, so I'm going to go back and see if I can make some decisions here, though. So watch a couple of scenes and where she tells the boy to stop it. Well, that's maybe a good one. All right, what I'm going to do is click on see it. One thing about this is kind of tricky. I want to make sure that she's going to handle it in a way that I appreciate. So I don't want to just tell them to stop. I want to see how she does it. So I'm going to at least see how she would tell them to stop it before I make a firm decision.
Boys, stop right now. That kind of talk is totally unacceptable at this school. I do not ever want to hear it again. Clear?
So this one, I'm just trying this one out. I don't really like the way she did that. It was a little bit more, I don't know, it's a little bit harsh. Not sure I want to stay with that one. I wanted to try it out, see how she would do it. I'm going to go with a different one. I'm going to say, let's have her tell the boys get to class. So I'm just going to say selective, which means I'm picking this. I'm going to have her tell the boys get to class. So what we're going to see now is I'll see her do that, and I'm going to see the consequences. So this is going to be a longer clip. You'll see teacher tell the boys to get to class, and then we're going to see what happens afterwards. Did this work? Did it not work?
All right, guys. It's about time to get to class.
Not really.
Get moving. The bell's about to ring. Josh, Jamal,
treated? Man. Okay, check this out. I heard that Paul over there on Friday's going to dance. Robert. Oh, you serious? Dead serious. It's just we need to see. Two homo's hanging out. I think I'm going to be sick. Oh, come on, Jamal. Do you want to see the freak show? I heard it's going to be a gay old time.
It didn't seem to do all that well. Poor Paul looked very happy, and the kids were meaner and meaner to Paul. So now the story's going to get heated. What should she do next? I've got new choices. I've got some different character insights, some different questions. Here's just one about how I can intervene without drawing further attention to the victims. That's kind of a tricky thing. Some stories, in this case, some of these are the same stories. So again, what do? We can have her give Josh and Jamal attention. We can talk with them after class. Or maybe we should try to do it from the other side. I already had her yell at Josh and Jamal for giving up our time. That didn't work. So let me see what happens if I talk to Paul for a little bit. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to jump ahead and do this one too. I'm going to say, why doesn't she talk to Paul? Tell him not to let it get to him and see if maybe at least he can kind of brush it off a little bit. It doesn't seem to be stopping.
I know because that one's trying to pick a fight. I just always trying to get a reaction from you.
I'll try, but I think I mean a lot.
I know. It's not fair. Just try not to let it get to you. If they don't get a reaction from you, eventually they'll stop.
Okay, I'll do my best.
Later that week. Hey, Paul, you missed your tennis class yesterday.
Yeah, well, I decided not to go to the
Really? Well, I'm sorry to hear that. You're a talented player. Can you tell me why you decided not to play?
no reason. I need some more reason.
All right, so again, not a tremendous amount of luck so far. Paul's, withdrawing from school. Things are going on. So I would go on from here. The story goes on. It's not easy to figure out how to solve this. You got to keep trying some different things and keep trying to study what happens. One nice thing about this method here, though, is I am privy to some things that in real life I might not know. For example, as Paul's teacher, the way we set this up, she wouldn't necessarily know if he was not playing tennis. She'd only know kind of her interaction. So we get a little bit of a higher level perspective. So here we kind of took a step back from the direct phone regular simulations that we did in customer service and directory systems and many, many other projects, where by advising Ms. Smith instead of being the teacher, we get a little bit, there's some things you lose. It's not quite as real in some ways, but you also get kind of a bird's eye view of reality. We can realistically get these character insights where in real life, if it was a direct simulation, I'd never know what Paul is thinking or Josh is thinking. Who would know? Except by asking them and hoping that they're honest with me. I wouldn't be able to get inside their heads. And here we also get, follow some scenes of Paul throughout the rest of his school day, where we get some insight into how he's feeling and how all this is affecting him in ways that a single teacher just might not know. So some different things we're trying to do with this one that made it a different kind of simulation approach. So what happened in this one? Look at this method, presented with a difficult situation video, how to be handled by the main character of the video, okay? So, of the program. So, instead of being Ms. Smith, we advise Ms. Smith. And then we got some courses of action. So, we can see how she'd handle it, so we understand kind of what we're picking, making what we call a thoughtful choice, not a blind choice. We understood how she was going to handle it. And then we see what happens. So once we pick one, we can see it play out. We can see how did this work, what happened. Sometimes when you do this whole scenario over, in depth, sometimes there are better and worse answers. But these are complex situations. It's not that I'm going to say the magic words and all of a sudden these kids are going to stop bullying and this is hard. there's a lot of work done to try to make the scripts as realistic as possible and make a character seem real. And obviously, there's a level of complexity in the people and situations that isn't as guaranteed as something like customer service or directory systems, right? Customer service, much more predictable, was very script-based. You kind of knew what people would likely do in those situations, how they would likely respond. Here, this is much harder to do, but it's still very, very interesting and useful nonetheless. The teaching and coaching components here are more more varied and a little bit more advanced, I think, in some ways than in the other models that I showed you. The character insights show you what the learner, as a learner, what's the character thinking, what's going on inside his head. What's going on inside his head, what's his educational experience like in a way that can really surpass real-life experience. The expert assistance section provides the learner with an expert coach to answer key questions, and then you get the stories to provide a way to learn from other people's experience. A few more minutes left. I kind of want to give a little bit of a picture of what the future could look like. Lots of use of procedural simulations like the ones we saw today, especially the first two models. I know I said at the beginning those are perceived as being difficult to use, difficult not by the users, but difficult to create. And they're not always that difficult to create. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in the few minutes I have left. But also like improved and advanced pedagogical modules for learn by doing simulations. We've seen some methods of guidance and feedback here. Many of the simulations out there now that do exist, at least in the business world, don't really have any of this. So if we get newer and better, we can add some kind of dialogue, we can keep improving. Also, more complex educational simulations, not just complex simulated worlds, but complex worlds that are designed with learning goals in mind, designed to help you learn. Other models, there are ways, and other talks, to talk about how you can use mobile devices in some different simulations, and use maybe existing environments such as Second Life. So there's a lot more under that. So the quick how to get there overview, to focus more on what to show, and then a little bit on this. One, which I call people. To establish a network of researchers and practitioners who can really talk about these issues. There's a lot of isolation, especially in the U.S. People that work on this for companies often kind of work within a company, or you work as a consultant to a company, as I do, and you're not allowed to talk about everything, or you just don't have the right people to talk about outside your own company. So we need more places to do this. The IELA is one place, I think, where that's only one of the many functions, but that community, so there's the IELA address. There's one of it for the business world. Our conference in New York, I think, is also part of this. The ICBL2008 conference focused on workplace learning, taking these theories and applying them, and looking at this as a field of study. It's a field, an academic field, which has actual practical applications. There's a lot there. Second part is tools, more software tools. Some of my own background is developing authoring tools. To allow non-programmers to try out simulation methods in learning. Experiment with more, try them more, make them work for you. There are general purpose simulation tools. There are a couple out there. Sometimes those can be hard to use. We've done some things as well. We have a customer service authoring tool that's coming out shortly, which is very specific to be kind of the model that we saw with some changes. It's such a big need in the U.S. It's just to make it so easy for corporate trainers to build this kind of customer service training that they won't have to worry about the technology. So that's one of the things we're hoping to do to increase the viability of these, make these inexpensive to be built. And also, built into these models are the guidance and feedback. You can't use the tools and simply not notice guidance and feedback. So there is an implicit way to educate trainers about the methods and the learning methodology behind it. And again, success stories. I'd like to share the demos that we did here, and I'd like to have more of a library. We're trying to build one up, again, partly through the IELA, as through the corporate side of it, or the business side of it. Collecting simulations, showing these methods. They can teach different content. And often you find people thinking, this doesn't apply to my problems, especially corporate trainers that we work with, just haven't been familiarized with these methods. And there's a lot there. So we're trying to bring the right people together, bring the tools out so that people can build them more easily, more cost effectively, try different things, experiment a little bit, look at this as really a method that becomes an everyday use, even as that it improves otherwise. There's a set of easier to use methods and then more more complex methods, the research continues. Also, as a side note, as part of my work at Columbia, we're establishing a degree program that's focused on e-learning for business, but with the idea that methods like this, they don't have to be open for business, but there'll be a place to get a degree in this, where you look at methods for adult learning that are interesting and different, and provide somewhere for people who want to apply them to real problems, to get experience understanding what the real problems are, and how the theory might apply. And that's, at least in the U.S., been hard to find. There really is a gap between academic research in its pure state and corporate training, which seems to not think that academic research is relevant, and academic research equally thinks that corporate training isn't relevant. And this is a place where they can and should go together, and that's kind of what I was able to show you today. Wrap up, and then I leave there's time for questions, discussion, and all. There's a tremendous amount of potential in educational simulations. I've been working in this area, as I said, for somehow almost 20 years, and in some ways, things haven't improved anywhere nearly as much as we thought. We did some things 20 years ago that sometimes you could show them now and say, oh, I didn't know you could do that. It hasn't quite gotten acceptance. I know in the business world, they sort of post World Wide Web and post corporate internet boom kind of got things going in different directions for a while. There's a whole host of reasons for that history. But we're in a position now where certainly the technology is there, certainly advanced thinking is there, advanced enough. There's no reason there shouldn't be a much more widespread common method. But we want to address the barriers. So we've seen 3 different barriers, 3 ways to address them, to unite the academic communities, the education community, the corporate training community, the technology people, and the educators, to try to bring everybody together with the goal of making these useful. And what I'd like to see is finally being able to deliver on a large scale, meaning it's simply accepted as something that you'll see as part of any relevant training program, educational simulations of all different types. And that's what I'm trying to do here. So I hope you enjoyed the talk. Thank you so much for listening. And I'll be around, I guess, for some questions. Normally when I repeat the question, but actually refer to the microphone. So how many people, and it's different on different projects. For the 411 simulation, we had, what were the different roles? We really had 5 people playing significant roles. Okay, I kind of 6 counting graphic artists. We really had a graphic artist and a programmer. So the graphic art wasn't a tremendous amount, but it was certainly a person on it. Somebody doing the programming behind it, especially at that time. We didn't really have the tools out yet. My overall job on that one was really the overall architecture and design, understanding the job and trying to design how am I going to teach this, and overseeing the rest of the project. Then we had 3 people who were responsible for writing a subset of the 50 scenarios. That was necessary more for time reasons than anything else, so no reason it couldn't have just been one. And then, I did a few of them myself, and then these 3 other people each took a whole lot of them. So it could have been fewer people if there was more time. The idea was to get people working in parallel once it was all decided what the scenarios were going to cover, and we were able to do it that way. So that was the businessy side of it. The customer service one, the team was actually a little bit bigger. We had, again, I was kind of the overarching person. We had, again, programming, graphic arts, so 2 more there, that's 3. We had somebody who was the sort of overall in charge of the scenario characters. So I worked with her, but there was someone who sort of also was responsible for that and wrote 2 of the scenarios, and then 3 other people wrote the rest of them. So we actually had 4 people writing the scenarios, and then this one sort of, super writer was in charge of also the editing and making sure, along with me, that everything was clear and consistent and that the whole educational experience was what it should be. There's really a lot to write. One of the things about the 2 with the video is there's a lot of writing to do. You're writing characters, you're writing scripts, you're writing what goes on the screen, you're writing tutoring feedback, working with the subject matter experts to get the kind of stories. So there's a lot of content development in this, but not as technical development. And then on the anti-bias training, we actually went back to a little bit smaller on that, partly because the structure of the entire course was so large, this was one part. so the simulation person was able to take longer to do it. So we only had one writer for all 4 scenarios on that one. So again, we had graphics and programming and my role and somebody else sort of in charge of the editing, so it's really 4. And then a full-time writer writing the scenarios sequentially. So really, so ballpark, we're looking at 5 to 8 the way we did it. There were a lot of different ways. With the authoring tools we have coming out, I can imagine really doing it almost as a single person if you had to in a company, where the artwork is more limited, but it comes built into the tool, and there's somewhere to put your colors in your logo, but that's about it. You don't need the programming, as that's already built into the software tool itself, and then it's a matter of who's going to do the writing. And I also should not discount the media production team, so I did not account for them, the account that I gave you, but a couple of camera people and a director and so pick the actors also had some role in these as well. So it's interesting. It sounds like a lot of people, and it is, but with the newer tools and doing it with digital video, doing kind of a quicker, lower budget way, it is actually becoming something that you could do yourself, although the trick then is to make sure that it got the same sound, and that's also a big issue. So it's an interesting question.
Okay, thank you. Other questions?
Hi, I'd like to congratulate you for your work, and I would like to know if there is an expect system or anything behind it.
So just expected.
Expect system or AI?
Oh, is it an expert system or AI? In a sense, I didn't mention in my background, part of it is the research institute where I did my PhD was actually founded by an artificial intelligence researcher named Guralnick, who made his name in sort of the knowledge representation type of AI research. And made his name at Yale University, and then came to Northwestern where I did my PhD to apply those techniques to education. So in that sense, it is absolutely there. It's not a traditional expert system. It's more along the lines of representing knowledge and data structures in the right ways so that the tutoring component can seem and behave realistically. So it isn't exactly that it goes to talk to a separate expert system, but there is a teaching component that takes into account the context of where you are. It is a little more, this is a sort of technical word, I can use this term, it is a little more, it's not exactly hard-coded, but it is closer to that than some projects. Let's put it this way. We've experimented with social simulations that were very, very role-based, where, for example, if I talked to the customer and made him angry, there'd be like an anger meter internal to the program, and we would know his response would be based on, well, partly how angry is he, how happy is he. That isn't the way this was done, and for the purposes of ensuring reality, especially in the corporate world, and for getting to the point where corporate trainers can build these, we went away from that. But I think it's an interesting methodology, I'd love to get back to it. But for these, it didn't go that way. There was sort of too much risk of finding yourself with the systems not always behaving quite as you wanted. And so we went with a little bit more constrained method here in all of these. But it's an area that I would love to be able to explore more. I'd love to see people explore more.
Okay, other questions? No more questions? Marks? Okay. Then, muito obrigado. Thank you very much. So, I have to announce some things. First of all, we have now a coffee break. After the coffee break, we will run 2 workshops. The first workshop is announced in the program about design instructional with Alice Pereira in the aquarium, and the other workshop is about e-learning and modern foreign languages, tales from a small country with Mary Welsh here in this room. And at 8 o'clock we have a speakers reception in the restaurant. Enjoy your coffee and please come back to work after the